What's up, guys? It looks like the stream's just starting. I'm just trying to set up my iPad camera, and then we are good to go. Okay, cool. All right, what's up, guys? I guess I'll wait for a couple people to hop in before I really get started on the stream. But for now, I guess I'll just chat a little bit and get my iPad screen going so you guys can see what I'm doing on there. I haven't really started anything yet. I'm just gonna, maybe I'll just doodle today. Hey, what's up, Ichthus? How you doing, man? Thanks for coming by, dude. Uh, yeah. I mean, I guess since you're here, I'll just start telling the story because today I met like a professional musician at work. So he wasn't working, like he wasn't like doing his music um at the job. We were both in a warehouse. So I met this guy, and he told me about how he used to go around and play all these gigs and do all the stuff. And I was wondering, like, why are you here in the same like warehouse where I am? Like, you could be like, you should be famous, or you should be like a guy who's playing all these great gigs and famous venues and making all this money. And I asked him, like, what made you stop? What made you give up and, come work here with me? And I didn't put it like that exactly. I just said, like, oh, what stopped you from continuing to do it? And he actually is still doing it, but he said what stopped him from doing it like full time, which is something he used to do for years. He said he got a wife and kids. Like, his wife and kids, that's not what stopped him, but that is what made him uh realize that he wasn't making enough money on his own as a full-time musician or as a professional musician, and that he had to stop what he was doing to basically get a real job and start working so he could support his family. And I asked him, do you think that it was worth it? Like, do you think that having your kids and having your wife was worth it to you, to give up doing what you love, or to give up doing your music full time? And he actually hesitated on that question. I thought basically anybody would just be like, oh, 100%, I love my kids more than anything. Like, this is I'm so glad I chose them over the music and whatnot. But he took a pause, like he didn't answer straight away, and he was thinking, like, hmm. And what he said, I love my kids. I would die for my kids, and I would kill for my kids. But, well, I sacrificed everything for them. And I made my choice, but at least I still have the stories and the adventures of going and being a musician. And I thought, like, dang, is he um actually satisfied with what he's doing right now? Because the thing is, with when I looked at him, like, I could see that there was life in his eyes. Like, they're shiny, like they have like a glint in them. Like, oh, this guy, he's not like the rest of these, like, warehouse workers. He's actually, there's something there. And then he said he was a professional musician, and I asked him about it, and that was the answer he gave me. And he still plays professionally. He still goes. He doesn't go on tour necessarily, but he still plays at different venues and uses his skill as a bassist, like a bass guitarist, to book gigs and play them. But he said, like, that life that he was living before was more, I guess it was more fun or more of an adventure for him. And maybe now it's like he feels like he's living less than it. And what he said was like, it's so it's so incredibly difficult to make it as a full-time creator unless you become a big name in a big band that that just is known worldwide. Like you can't just do that easily. Like it's so competitive to just become a full-time famous artist where you're just making money off the creation that you're creating and making money off of being a full-time bass guitarist or musician. And I kept thinking about it. I was like, well, then what am I doing? Like, how difficult is it to actually get where I'm going, to actually do what I'm trying to do? Like, is it so incredibly difficult because of how many people are actually putting in more work? Am I putting in enough work to make this dream happen? Even I don't know. The only thing I can do is keep trying to make it happen and not have kids, not have kids until I make this dream come true. But it's like, man, this guy actually felt like he gave up, like he stopped. Ictus, he said, yo, wow, you give him a deep cut question. It wasn't even that. Like, I just asked it like casually, like I asked it normally, like I do with everything, but he thought about it. He thought about it for a good long while. And I asked him like, were the children intentional? Like, did you have those children with intention? And he was just like, nah, no, we just got married and then one thing led to another and we had those kids. So yeah, it's not like um he planned to have those children, but that's just what ended up happening. And I'm like, wow. So yeah, sometimes things can just turn out that way where you have children and it either blocks, like gets in your way somehow of doing what you're actually trying to do, or helps you achieve your goals in some way. Um but yeah, that's the story I had to begin with. But let's see what Ictus has to say. Well, not have kids and significant other until you can support them. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to do. Is like, I know I can make it in comics if I just keep trying, keep pushing myself. But if I jump into a relationship or having kids right now, like that will like stop me. That will basically stop whatever I'm doing and make it 100 times more difficult to succeed at anything. So like it would just slow down the process so much that I wouldn't be able to pull off anything. So yeah, that was the story for the beginning of the stream. Um and I wanted to say something about money that I learned um recently from a Dave Ramsey video. Like it was a really, really valuable perspective on how to look at money and how to feel like you deserve money or receive money. Where like he was talking about how Jewish people view money and how they see currency and what it means to them. And because they have such a healthy view of money, they are able to make more and keep more than most people around. So for them, money is like the dollar bills are like certificates of appreciation, that doing business is their highest calling, or doing business is um you're delivering an incredibly important service to the person you're doing business with, and the money that they give you back is a certificate of appreciation for you giving them something that they want, or something that is truly important to them. And I never thought of it that way. In fact, I have to watch that video again just to fully take in that message, because I never thought of money that way at all. uh I always thought of it as like you have to give value and that's how you get money, and that is true. But putting it in that perspective, putting it in that those terms, I never really realized what money was until he said that. Like, okay, now I understand. Like, oh, it's a certificate of appreciation for the service that I'm rendering or the product that I'm providing. And people just give those out. In fact, at a recent show, I actually, hold on, let me share my screen so that you guys can see uh my comic as I'm making it, or my screen. Let me show y'all. Okay. So now y'all should be able to see it. I'm going to change the layout a little bit. Okay, there we go. Cool. There we go. So, what was I saying? I was talking about, let me continue this painting. Let's see how far on this I can get. So, I was talking about how, oh yeah, at a recent show, at the recent like convention that I went to, like I finally raised the prices on my comics, and it felt like, oh, people are still actually willing to pay that on my comic book. I didn't really know. I didn't think they would do that, because there's this girl that I knew. Her name is Mina Baldwin, who she would always be like flabbergasted every time I told her like the prices for my comics. And she'd be like, "Are you sure? Like that's kind of low." Because I'd always be selling them for like maybe $10 each, and not that much, because I just didn't know how much to price them at, and I didn't think about it. But when I thought about how much that I paid for either her stuff or the people's stuff that I've liked in the past, then it made sense to me. Like, oh, when they tell me the price, I just pay it without really even thinking. I'm just like, yep, I'll pay that cuz I'm at a show and I came all this way, and I'm saving my money for something or somebody I actually care about, like their work. And so this is what I'm going to give this person for the work that they're making. So when I thought of it like that, when she helped me think of it like that, I was just like, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe I will raise my price. And um at the show, like I don't have a price tag on the comics themselves, so I'm not tying myself to a certain price tag. It invites people to ask me what the price is, and then I'll tell them, and that helps me just kind of decide or figure out like how much should this be, or how much are people willing to pay, and how much are my comics actually worth. And then yeah, it helped me like decide the price, and I was just like, okay, cool. So at least I understand that a little bit better now, and I can go forward into the future kind of uh understanding price a little bit better. So yeah, I'm gonna try some more of that in the future. So yeah, this painting, or this drawing of Vivi, I've been trying to draw for like the last few weeks, just because I'm like, I need to try to paint something uh to get good. Like I want to try to get good as a friggin' like Pixiv artist. But because I don't paint, I don't really do anything besides ink drawing and coloring stuff. I just what's the word? I just create, without, what's the word? because I don't do anything but ink drawing and um coloring, like coloring the comic. I never really give myself the opportunity to paint something or to draw something new or draw something like interesting. And it's just kind of a wasted skill. Like I have the skills to be able to paint a lot of stuff and paint it really well, but I never get to really use it because I'm always drawing the comic. And so just being able to kind of do something like this every once in a while exercises that muscle that I have for painting and color theory, stuff that I learned a long time ago when I was like in high school. Um, to be able to get to that level where I could paint, color, draw, everything, do everything involved with making manga and stuff like that. Because I was inspired by Yusuke Murata. I was so inspired by the fact that he could like color beautifully. He could color everything beautifully. I was just like, I got to be able to do that too now. So I learned how to do it, and that's just what I do now. Ichthus, he says, how much turnaround in sales you made from the price change versus the previous price? Um, it's not really like that because it's different. Because the people that come up to the table and the people that are interested enough to buy, it was the same amount before and after because they cannot see the price. I don't put the price on display on my comics. That's the technique that I learned from, I don't know, whoever I was tabling with, and they said it invites conversation so that you can talk to them and ask tell them what the price is. Um, so there's not much difference between now and the price change. So whenever people do come up, it's the price that I tell them, and they pay it. They pay it because that's what they came there for, and it's not like a super high exorbitant price, but it's high enough to where I feel like I'm not just giving the comic away, because there's times in the past where I told people the price and they just paid it instantly, and they were just like, oh sweet, I got a sweet epic deal. But it's almost like I want to see a little bit of hesitancy whenever I tell somebody the price. So one time I gave somebody both issue 1 and 2 of Air Rider for $18, and I was like, man, they just gave the money to me, and it was like super easy. Like they just like, in fact, they could have just thrown it in my face, like, take that, dude. And I felt like maybe I gave it away for too cheap. Like it could have been more, because I want the person to feel a little bit of hesitancy, like before they buy it, and then they just buy it. Because if it's too cheap, it's like, okay, yeah, I got this cheap, easy thing for $18 and it was super easy. But if it's um more expensive, then they feel like they got something of value when you give them something more expensive. So when I sold it for 18, I was just like, man, I felt like I could have gotten more, and then I feel bad for giving it away for that cheap. But when I sold it for 30, I was like, okay, I feel good enough that I gave them uh something of value for the amount that they paid. And then I feel like I got enough to where I can keep doing this, keep selling people the comic without feeling like I'm getting not robbed, but I'm like feeling like I got a fair amount for what I sold them. Hey, what's up, Massive Panda? How you doing, man? Let's see. YouTube is displaying my name incorrectly again. No, dude. YouTube always displays um your at in the comment section. Like it never displays your actual name. At least I've never seen it display your actual name. Like they changed that a long time ago to where uh like randomly. Like it used to be like your actual name would just be your name across everything, but then they changed it to you having an at name and username. So I don't know why they did that. I think they did it to match up with Twitter or Instagram or whatever, but um yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been like that for a while, or it hasn't been like normal for a while. So right now I'm just gonna paint a little bit. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn on the music. Let me go ahead and turn on the music because I've just been talking. I should be more freaking prepared every time I do these. Um, there we go. So let me turn that down. Make sure it's on a. Make sure it's on a good. What's the word? Volume level. I think that's good. I think that should work. All right, let me go back. Massive. He says, I was just talking about this with a fellow creator at the comic shop. He was telling me that indie floppies should be sold for $10 instead of $5. Yeah, that's very true. Because $5 is not enough for a one person creator, or even like because five is when you have a whole company backing you, like DC or Marvel or whatever, where they can take the hit in the cost because they're covering like distribution and they're selling it through a whole bunch of other channels rather than just a single guy at a comic convention. Whereas you need to be able to make the money back that you used to create the book and the time that you put into creating it. And so selling it at a right price is more important than trying to keep it cheap, because if you keep it too cheap, you won't be able to continue selling. Like you won't be able to make a living from it. Let's see. I've been hesitant to try that, but to be honest, it's hard to make any profit off of $5 comic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Only big corporations can afford to price their comics in that way. Like we can't. Like you have to price it properly. Like you can't just be like, oh yeah, just give me whatever you think is an appropriate amount. Like, no, dude. Set it up so that you're getting a good amount. But when I haven't been to that many conventions, so I always price my stuff at a lower price because I didn't want to lose sales, and I was honestly kind of afraid of people being like, what the fuck, $13 for one comic or $15 for one comic, dude? That's ridiculous. And I was just afraid of people like flipping out on me or whatever. But people don't do that. They're just like, ew, okay, yeah, and then they'll put it back down, and that's just about it. They're like, they won't really flip out or do anything weird. I actually had a couple girls come up to the table at the last convention, and they were asking for like a commission for like a sketch commission. Like they wanted a sketch commission of their own personal character, and I told them my price. I was just like, oh yeah, that'll be about $50 for a sketch commission. And they were like, oh, okay, cool, thanks for telling us. And that was it. Like they left, and they didn't really have the money to pay the price. And I was just like, okay, cool, that's less work for me. And I gave them a good price for what they would be receiving, and they just realized that they couldn't meet that price. It wasn't like there wasn't any animosity or whatever. Like it was just, oh yeah, we can't really afford that, so we're gonna have to do that another time. And it wasn't like I was chasing the money. So if I really wanted to chase the money, I would tell them like, but I can lower the price if you want. Like we could do 25 for the same sketch commission. And that's like, no, I can't do 25 for that, because like it would be, at that point it would be a waste of my time. And they, even if I put in like the highest quality work I could in that $25, um it would probably be barring myself from creating something better for somebody else. So that's the thing. I didn't do their commission, but not because I didn't want to. It was because they just realized they couldn't afford it. Doesn't mean that they'll never be able to afford it. It's just that at that time they couldn't afford it. Let's see. Ichthus, he says, it's the norm that Indian creators price their floppies at 10. Yep. Not even at 10. Like, if it's 10, that's 10 for maybe a 20-page floppy or something like that. Yeah, 10 for a 20-page floppy. And he said, damn, that's the most affordable commission I heard. Yeah, dude. And that was 50 for a sketch commission, because the last convention I was at, I did... Let me show you what I did for $50. Because people are liking it on my Twitter, on my X, and I posted that a long time ago. Well, not really a long time ago, like a couple months ago, and people are just now discovering it. And I'm just like, well, guys, I did that one a while back. I mean, like, and this is what I did for $50 before, because my price was accidentally set too low and I didn't mean to. Like, I was like, dang, I guess this is the price I have to do. Like, I did this for $50 just a convention ago, and that was because I created a commission list that was based on my prices from like 2 or 3 years ago. And so I was just like, damn, that guy was looking at the commission list that I priced from those years back. So I was just like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to give him the best I can do for $50. And I told him it would be a black and white sketch. And I just gave him the best dang like black and white sketch of Nightcrawler that I could. And I worked pretty much all day on that thing after he paid me, and I was just like, all right, here you go. And I was just hoping that he would be happy with the commission, and he was. So I was just like, all right, cool. But I knew from that point, I was just like, next time I have to up the price on the commission, because that was a whole lot of work for $50. And people want to pay more for your commissions. They want to pay more for your stuff, because then they feel like they got their money's worth. Like, they don't want to just throw $3. Like, let's say this was $10. It's almost like cheapening my value. It's cheapening the value of the art to them. It's like, to them, they want to have paid more money for a piece of art that they're having. Like, there was one, I forget what video it was, but I was listening to a video where this guy was saying like, like this guy was talking about this artist who was trying to sell a piece to an art collector, and the art collector came to the artist and they were asking about the price, and the artist was like, I guess I'll take $100 for this piece. And the art collector was like flabbergasted and left kind of disappointed. They didn't even buy the piece. They left disappointed. They were like, I wanted to pay thousands of dollars for that piece so that I could show off how much I paid for this piece of art from this great artist. But the artist himself like devalued himself and didn't get the amount that he was truly capable of getting, because he didn't value his art at the price that it was supposed to be. So even though this guy gave me like $50 for this, instead of giving him like quote unquote $50 worth of art skill or whatever. I gave him like the full measure of my black and white art skill up until that point, and like I just gave him the best I could give him. Like I wanted to give him $500 worth of art, even though this might not be like $500 worth of art. I gave him like the best level that I could give, because I'm not really a known name in the industry, and I'm not really a popular creator yet. So giving him the best art that I could give like was the only service I could really render, to be honest. So I did my best on the piece, and I think it was happy with it. Let me show you something I did for $20, but first let me read the comments. Let's see what's Ichthe said, "Can I pay $50 for right now for a commission?" Yeah, dude, you can pay $50. I don't know what what I draw for $50, but yeah, you could do that. Just inking a page at the moment. Oh, okay. Giveaway. Dale said, "I gave away my first floppy with free shipping, but I'm crazy." Yeah, you're crazy, dude. You said free shipping for first floppy, so you. Well, that's interesting, man. So I guess you sent it off to somebody or something like that. Massive Panda, he says that's an insanely good commission. Yeah, that's worth a hell of a lot more. I don't even know how much it is worth. Actually, please tell me how much that would be worth, because I myself don't really know. I don't really have a value judgment on it. Because whenever I'm factoring in price, like there's the name of the creator, like the name recognition, brand and stuff. There's the quality of the art. In fact, I drew Nightcrawler commission for this guy, and then Pop Man drew a Nightcrawler for commission for this guy as well, but he forgot the tail on his commission, and I was just like, wait a minute, that's the first moment that I felt like I did better than a than a professional like creator, and I'm just now kind of getting my footing in the professional industry. So I was just like, all right, cool. I did a little bit I did my thing, man. And yeah, I never considered myself a professional before this year. But what's his name? Young Wavy, he said, "Yeah, you're a professional artist now, man." And I didn't even really think about it. I always thought I was still like in that amateur bracket of I'm still just starting out. I'm still like not necessarily aspiring, but I'm still in that beginner stage of being a professional. But yeah, I am a professional now, so I'm just gonna wear that and hold on to that. Damn, for 50, that's a huge steal. Beautiful work, man. Appreciate it, man. I would be tap dancing if I walked out with a commission like that. Oh, appreciate it, dude. Can you email me a scan to color over? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can do that, man. I think what I'll do, because that's the best. What's the word? This is the best quality picture I took of that piece before I gave it to the guy. So I should be able to adjust it a little bit, make sure it's ready to be colored over once I send it over. So yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that's the thing about doing commissions. You don't get to keep the art, man. You just give it away. And that's the thing. The guy, he was trying to buy a piece, like an original piece of art from me for a long time. Well, not for a long time. Yeah, for a while, because he wanted to buy some Batman pages that I did back in the Kubert school. And then he was just like, you know what? Tell you what, because I was really reluctant to let it go. I was really reluctant to let them go. So I kept the price up high so that it would be just high enough to where it would be outside of his price range, and he would either give me the money or choose a different piece or something like that. So he said, tell you what, let me get an original piece from you, and we'll do that instead of buying an original. Because I'm really reluctant to give over my originals. I'm just like, yeah, but I like them. They're mine. I drew them. So I don't want to give those away yet. There was actually a story about the creator. What's his name? The guy did Court of Owls Batman. Greg Capullo. Yeah, he really, really didn't want to give over the cover to Court of Owls #1. Well, the cover to the trade paperback. He didn't want to give that up, so he valued it at $50,000. He was just like, "There's no dickhead that's gonna pay $50,000 for this cover." So I guess I'm just gonna keep it forever because he didn't want to give it up. He wanted to keep it forever. But somebody was like, 50,000, bet I'm gonna, and they bought it. They bought this cover for 50,000. And I was just like, man, this is a great cover. And I didn't think it would be worth fucking $50,000. But one is that it's a good cover. It's just a really good cover. Two, it's a Batman cover. Batman has name recognition, brand recognition, all that stuff. And three, it's by Capullo. Greg Capullo has a name in the industry. He's been working for a long time, and he's just up there in terms of comic book royalty. So somebody, especially a comic book collector or art collector, they have money, dude. And you don't even understand how much money they have. They're totally willing to pay $50,000 for a piece of art that they're like, I got this, and I got this over somebody else, so now it's mine. And that's what I mean by, like, if you imagine valuing this at $100, like, oh yeah, I'll give it away for $100. I'd be like, bro, are you serious, dude? Are you kidding me, man? Like, $100 for this beautiful piece of work? Like, I didn't think 50,000, but if you give it away for $100, I wouldn't even tell nobody no shit like that, dude. Like, oh, I bought it for $100, like, so it's worth poop. Like, it's worth just $100. Like, are you kidding me, dude? So it's like, if you tell people I bought a piece of art for $100, it's almost like you're saying, oh yeah, I bought a rock from the stream. I bought a rock from the ground. Like, people want to spend money on a piece of crafted, like handcrafted art that is meaningful to a lot of people or meaningful to them. So they want to spend money on you. And if you undervalue your stuff, then it's not it's almost ethically wrong, you know, to undervalue your stuff. So that's the thing, man. Let's see. VNetFad, what's up, man? Anyway, this kind of topic is sort of related to my question. Would you rather have buyers or readers? That's kind of a interesting question, because the only thing that will allow me to keep creating is to have buyers. But all buyers start off as readers. So I would rather have buyers. But I want people to read the book, because not every buyer is also a reader. There's so many people whose art that I've bought at shows, but I don't read it because I'm just like, oh yeah, I bought them to support the creator because I wanted to, because I like them as a person, but I just don't read their book because I don't have the time, and I myself am my creator, so I just don't have the time to be reading everybody's thing. In fact, if I go to more shows, I'm gonna be buying more people's books, and it's gonna be annoying because I'm like, damn, I have all these people's books, but I don't read any of them. There could be like an art reason why I buy their stuff, or like some other reason, like a research reason, or perhaps I just like that person. But a buyer is what keeps me going, like keeps me basically fed, so that I can keep making more art and creating. But a reader is actually engaging with your work and is able to talk about your work even if they cannot buy it right away. So like, I am trying to develop my platform so I could get more buyers, because there's so many people online who all they have is readers. All they have is a bunch of freeloading readers who don't buy anything, man. So it's like, there's tons of people with like thousands and thousands of followers, like up to 100K followers or even more, that they don't make any sales, they don't make any money because they don't put out their work in a way that can make money or make any sales. And it's like a waste of having all those followers because you want to be able to sell enough of your work so you can do this full time. And then when you're able to do it full time, you're able to create that much more work. And people who buy, this is why buyers are more important than readers for me specifically, because buyers tell you exactly what you're doing right, or they show you that, okay, I cared enough about you, or I cared enough about this piece of work to actually invest money that is, I put my hard energy and work into earning this money, and now I want to give you some of it because you have created something that has touched me. So basically everything that I've bought in my comics in my room is because of work that has either touched me or has inspired me in some way, or so that I could study from that piece of work. But I'm giving my money to that piece of work, or to that to support that idea, so that I can create more stuff like it. And so yeah, readers who spend money on you are telling you like what you're doing is good, you should do more of that. Whereas likes and comments and stuff like that is, I wouldn't say it's not quite as valuable, but it just doesn't hold the same weight. Like, people can say stuff about your comic, they can comment on your stuff, but at the end of the day, if they're not actually like taking out their wallet and then saying like, here, this is for you for making the thing that you made, it doesn't hold as much weight as somebody who's somebody who's commenting doesn't hold as much weight as somebody who is actually willing to pay for your thing. Because a comment is more like, okay, I appreciated this thing and it's good enough for me to comment on, but that reader isn't like converted to the point where they are willing to put money onto your thing. But the more people that you understand will actually like pay for your thing, the closer you are to actually making a living in comics. Because this is the thing in the manga industry as well. Like, I've watched so many Japanese like manga videos where they're talking about what actually works in the industry, and even they're saying the same thing. Don't care about likes on Twitter, don't care about stuff on don't care about getting comments and appreciation on social media. It doesn't matter as much. It doesn't matter as much as what will sell. That's the only thing that they care about in Japan. Like, they're just focused on, can you create a piece of work that will sell to an audience? That's all that matters. That's all they care about. If you're just getting a bunch of likes and comments and stuff like that, but nobody's buying, then either you're not pitching it correctly, you're not doing something right, or your audience just isn't primed to want to buy your stuff. And it's you got to find a way to translate that into buyers. Like, there's so many comics online that I like looking at. I love looking at their stuff. I like reading it, and I'm just like, oh man, that was so funny this week, or that was so funny this day, or this was a really, really deep, thought-provoking comic. And I just scroll right to the next thing. Like, I save it for later, or I like it and I'm just like, or I retweet it and I'm just like, all right, cool, next thing. Because people online on social media are just scrolling. They hit like, oh, I like that, and then they scroll to the next thing. They hit like and scroll to the next thing. It's not as engaged as somebody who is on your email list. It's not as engaged as somebody who gives you $1, gives you $10 for your stuff, because you did enough for that person to actually want to buy from you. And that's what manga editors in Japan are looking for. They're looking for somebody who can sell their work, rather than somebody who can just get a bunch of likes on social media. Because on social media, there's just a bunch of like It could be just gooners and stuff that are on there, and you can definitely make money from the gooner crowd, but it's more dependent on like like if you're just doing stuff for validation rather than selling, then you're missing the mark. You're missing the point. But yeah, that's enough of that rant. But let me keep going. Ichthus, he said, it's a good thing I was sitting down when you told me $20. What was it? $20. $20 on what? I forget what I was talking about at that point. Yeah, I spent around $300 in shipping to get that book sent out to multiple people. I limited it to 100 copies. Jesus Christ, dude. Man, you must have money, or you must have enough to actually support that. That's cool. Bro, I would pay 100 or 80 or 100. It's honestly your call, since I've seen your work on Air Writer, and even developing your next comic is going to increase your value. Yeah, okay, yeah, that helps me get an idea of what I can start charging for black and white stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty dope. So stuff like that, like having people tell you like, oh yeah, I would pay this amount, or this is what seems fair, like I'm like, okay, yeah, that gives me an idea, and you can start kind of determining what your value is and stuff like that. Excellent, man. I appreciate it. If you need my email to send, I would DM you. I wonder if I do have your email, because I remember sending you something else to color, I think. Yeah, I think I do have your email. Damn, Dale, you're a madman for shipping out floppy with free shipping. You're generous, and I hope you gain some customers for sure. But I can say I paid pretty bedazzled $80 rug. Yeah. Let's see. Dale, there was a Japanese tweet yesterday talking about the psychology of people who pay money. Is that what started this conversation? No, actually haven't seen that tweet, but I've been seeing a lot of tweets by Japanese creators in Japan on comics, and it's really interesting to hear their perspective, because well, a lot of them are just translated now using Grok, because I'm on the paid plan on Twitter. So hearing it is actually like hearing their thoughts is really interesting, because a lot of them are just focused on creating the work. Like they don't even think about all this other stuff. They're just like focused on, oh, I'm gonna make something, make some work, make it happen. And that's because they have a healthy industry, dude. They have they have proper gatekeepers. That's the thing. They have proper gatekeepers. They have proper channels to go through to try to get into the industry. They have a standard by which they submit their work, and if they don't meet the standard, they're cut, like they're out. One of the things that they have recently is this young magazine that was this contest that they had, and that is an example of the kind of stuff that they're talking about. Okay, hey, thanks, appreciate it. Oh yeah, this is the person I watch on YouTube all the time. It's Pegasus Hyde, and they make all these videos about the industry. It's like a they them person, but they spent 10 years trying to get into the industry, and then what was it, 10 years trying to get into the industry. Then they finally made a serialization of like of a week. They finally got a weekly serialization, and I think they did that for 12 volumes. And then they spent 20 years teaching manga at a manga school. So yeah, they really know their stuff. And on YouTube, they friggin' like edit and create like they help people, like people submit their pages to this creator, and then they'll draw over them or redraw them so that they can improve on their work. Let me go here before going over there. BNet Fat, he says, I don't really see Japanese manga tweets since you do, what do you learn more about growing from indie manga or indie comic creators? Um, more about growing from indie manga or indie comic creators. Indie comics, everybody has to learn to sell. Everybody has to become a business person. If you're indie comics for fun, just do it for fun and don't try to become like a full-time creator, because this is difficult beyond measure. But that's only because I'm broke, so I have to like go to work compulsively to try to dig myself out of like debt and brokenness. But doing that on top of trying to create a whole comic is incredibly difficult. And then you have to, what you want to do as an indie creator, if you're going to try to make the living at this, is try to figure out what people actually like and want to buy. What people want to buy is not always what you want to create. So people, when they look at my series in like Air Rider, maybe not everybody on the internet wants to buy it, but people in person, like when they see it, they get excited about it. I see it on their faces when they flip through it. They're like, oh wow, this is cool. Like I want this. Like I want to read more of this, because it looks different from what everybody else is producing, what is being created in general. So people, when they look at it, they're like, this is dope. I want to see more of this stuff. And that's what kind of helped me, give me a little bit more confidence, because it's like, okay, I'm going in the opposite direction that everybody else is leaning in, making like manga style stuff and all that stuff. I'm making my own thing. So I'm like, okay, let me sell this. And a lot of my audience in real life, a lot of the people who buy Air Rider are Hispanic. Like they're Hispanic in nature. And I think I understand why. It's because it's because the art is kind of like what they're used to over in I guess Latin America or Mexico or whatever. Like they just like this type of stuff that looks like Dragon Ball Z. They like this stuff that looks like Sailor Moon or Rurouni Kenshin. Like they love all that type of stuff. So whenever they see Air Rider, they're like, okay, cool. I can see something that I recognize and that I like. It doesn't look like traditional American comics, and it doesn't look quite like anime. So they like the in between style of it, and that's what they're into. But yeah, for indie comics creators, we don't have an industry like Japan at all. So doing a YouTube show or doing Instagram or doing Twitter, to the point where like mastering social media and mastering selling on social media is the number one thing that you have to do as a indie creator, because that is going to be the way to actually make a living at this stuff. Because I was talking with Kazu Kibuishi, the creator of Amulet. The creator of Amulet, I was talking with him at a dinner, like after the show. And he was saying that the direct market is dead, meaning the sales of like the traditional publishing industry of comic books, where comics are created in floppy version and sold to comic shops. That version of comics is dead. It's no longer there. It's dead in the same way that newspapers are dead, or radio is dead. Like it's not a functional way to progress making these things. So when he said that, I was just like, I know that 100% I'm going in the right direction by making this YouTube channel and trying to push it as hard as I am. Because if that publishing style is dead, then to be able to create my own work and put it out there and try to get that published, self-published, is the only way forward for me. So I'm just going to keep pushing through this and trying to make things happen that way. Saintly, because my friend Ngozi, basically my mentor at this point, because she vetted this idea and told me like, this is an idea that I'm excited for. This is an idea that is interesting. Um, I will actually fund the creation of this comic so that you can make it into something real. So basically, she's the one funding this saintly that I'm making now, because she, when I gave her the pitch of the idea, I didn't even pitch it that well. I just showed her the image of saintly that I use all the time, and I told her about it, and then she was just like, yes, yes, I like this. I want this to be created. I want this to be made. I know this can make money, and I like it better than Air Rider. And because she saw that, I actually went and created and sold Air Rider as a full comic book, and I had the follow through to do that twice with issue 1 and 2. She was just like, "Yep, this guy has enough follow through. Let me go ahead and fund the creation of this new idea." So I was just like, "All right, bet." And then that's how Saintly was born. Well, actually, I done a lot of work on it in the past, or I came up with the idea of it in the past, but that's when the true development of the idea started. So that's how it was created. So let me read this one more comment before I go back to the Pegasus comment, because this is important. Said, if you see Air Rider and don't want to at least pick it up and flip through it, you should be wearing clown shoes. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. He said they like the simplistic art style, but still stylistic, that give enough room for to be complex and a fun twist. Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget the wig and nose. All right, so yeah, let's go to the comment. I'm going to try to read it in Japanese first. Okay. Says, 昨日ペガサス大学のライブ授業で so she said yesterday in a Pegasus college, her Pegasus college live lesson, お金をもらう人の心理、お金の does that say morale? Let me see. Harao. I knew it. For people who think that about money, I think. という、I don't even know what that says. をやったのですが、自分の漫画を let me read it along with you. Just 自分の let me move that blue. I can't move that blue stuff out of there. He said dubbed over stuff. Okay. Let's I was just doing that for my own purposes. Okay. Fucking let's dub it then. Okay. It says, yesterday in a live class at Pegasus University, I gave a lecture on the psychology of people who pay money, but people who want to sell their manga don't understand the psychology of what kind of people buy manga by paying money in the first place. So even if they improve their drawing skills or storyboarding abilities, they can't sell. Okay, I'm gonna break that down. Just break that down really quick. So they said the psychology of what kind of manga by paying money in the first, like, but people who want to sell their manga don't understand the psychology of what kind of people buy manga by paying money in the first place. So like it, by that I think it means your drawing style or like your quality doesn't matter, your style doesn't matter. What matters is if you are making what people actually want to buy. That's what matters, and that's a talent you can develop over time as well. Like I can draw in, let's say, Pixiv style, but if it's just Pixiv style poop, like that people don't give a fuck about or don't want to buy or don't care about, then it's like, okay, so you can draw really well, but this is not what people care about. This is not what people want to buy. It doesn't matter. Um, so let me go ahead and read the rest. On the contrary, people who understand the psychology of those who spend money can sell even poorly drawn artwork. Exactly. There are no manga schools that teach that. So I'm the one teaching it. Yep. Those who study psychology for manga and business for manga artists have an overwhelming advantage. Ooh, okay, so that is very important to note. Um, that advantage means being able to create a flow of money coming to you. That's what they call sense. If you want to make money with manga, instead of just worrying about drawing skills, exactly, that's what I'm saying. I didn't even read this whole thing, and I knew that. It might be faster to research what are people who would want to buy your manga. What are people who would want to buy your manga by paying money thinking about? So basically, you're trying to understand customer psychology rather than reader psychology. Like, what do people take out their wallet and put money into? Like, people are doing that for Chainsaw Man. People are doing that for Gachi Akuta. People are doing that for One Piece. People are doing that for Dandadan. People are doing that for these types of comics. JJK. That's what is selling right now. That's what people want to see. So understanding what people want to see is a skill in and of itself, because if you're just drawing really high quality work that nobody cares about, then it's like, okay, you can draw really well, or even if you can write really well, if you can write really well or draw really well, but you're not drawing what people want to see, it's not gonna go over for you well. Like with Air Rider, some people want to see Air Rider, some people want to see it created. It looks okay, but anytime I tell people of the idea of Saintly, they're like, yeah, I like this. I want to see how this develops. I want to see more about it. They like it on the surface of the story. And I didn't even think much about it when I created it, and I was just like, okay, yeah, it's about this. It's about two girls doing this, and one of it is just the fact, like one of the factors in it is just that the fact that I'm using like it's two female characters who are at the forefront of it, who are the main characters. So that's one of the things that gets people interested. But then the fact that they're also doing like supernatural stuff in the story, that's another thing that another factor that gets people involved. Like, oh yeah, I like to see girls, and then I like to see them doing like supernatural stuff. It's not that they are doing the supernatural stuff, but they're like involved in some like supernatural like situation that they have to basically escape, get out of, avoid. You know, like these are my characters. Okay, yeah, it's on the right thing. Let's see. V Netfad said, I pay for Chainsaw Man and Dawn to Dawn because I love the story. Yeah, exactly. Like they are, just by looking at them, they look interesting, but then the story itself can carry you along through the creator's idea. So it's like it's good enough. The story is good enough on both of them to make you want to buy. And where's my Chainsaw Man volume? Because I thought I had it. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, like I have my volume of Chainsaw Man right here. I don't want to drop my lights. Come on, we can do it. It's not even gonna be worth it to pull this out. Let me pull it. Come on. There we go. Okay, yeah, I got my Chainsaw Man volume right here, and I just bought volume 1 because I don't want to collect the whole series, but I have the series that I do want to collect. I want to collect all of Rurouni Kenshin, and I actually one time had the whole series at some point, but then I gave it up because I just didn't have the space at my house. And I want to collect all of Blame, or Blom as people like to call it, but I pronounce it Blame in my head. So yeah, like these things sell because on a surface level they look cool, and then the editor for manga companies, they help you to develop the concept into a commercial concept. Like they're trying to help you create an idea that will sell to people, just on the face of it. Is Demon Chase a genre? No, but I always say Demon Chase horror comedy because of this what do they call it? It's this manga not advertising, but it's this manga account that talks about whatever manga is coming out lately that my friend Ben Bates told me about. He said it's called Manga Mogura. Damn, I want to play that game. What the hell? Oh, whoops. And basically, the way Manga Mogura titles their ads for the comic makes you understand this is what the story is about in just 2 seconds. Oh, now that reminds me of I wanted to check out the Young magazine friggin' like entrance or the winners. But yeah, it instantly lets you know what the comic is all about in the first few lines. So this one is non-binary Yuri drama, pale blue green colored what the fuck, final volumes number 2. And like, so you already know just from those few words, like this is what this is. This is it. This is what you're getting from it. This one says ancient Chinese style imperial court fantasy, The Eccentric Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom by Toru Himika, has 1.5 million copies in circulation. So the first line tells you this is what this thing is. It's an ancient Chinese style imperial court fantasy. So it's not necessarily in China, but it's Chinese style, and it's an imperial court fantasy. So it's like it has to do with royalty, and it's in the past, and it's a fantasy, meaning there's some magical elements to it. And then it'll give you the title. It's called The Eccentric Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom, and then it'll give you the author. So the first line of this thing tells you what it's about. And when I was thinking about Saintly, like, what is it? Like, what is the main thing in Saintly that you would know just by that you would have to know just by looking at it or just by hearing about it? And that's why I say Demon Chase horror comedy Saintly. So it's going to be horror. There's going to be horror elements to it, but it is first and foremost a about Demon Chase. And well, it's not about Demon Chase, but it's like that's one of the elements in it that lets you know it's supernatural. So I don't have to say supernatural Demon Chase horror comedy because demons are already associated with the supernatural, so you can just intuit the supernatural part from Demon Chase. So it's a Demon Chase horror comedy about, I'm still trying to figure out like 2 female best friends or 2 girl best friends or 2 best friends. Like I try to figure that out in my videos, and I'm still trying to work on the pitch to make it hit, and I just added a bit where I combine Scooby Doo and K-pop Demon Hunters, because K-pop Demon Hunters is the closest equivalent to what Saintly is, but it's also recent enough that people have a mental connection to what is something that's supernatural and demon involved. So they so using K-pop Demon Hunters and Scooby Doo, which is such a ubiquitous name in the world, that that people know what Scooby Doo is even if they haven't seen it. So I say Scooby Doo mixed with K-pop Demon Hunters, which is a more recent cultural reference that people do have a cultural like touch point with. So Scooby Doo evokes that sense of we're running from a demon, we're running from uh like a scary monster or whatever. And then K-pop Demon Hunters give you that, oh, it's like a supernatural with girls or something like that. So that's what I use. Y'all are saying in the comments, two besties. I don't know, would that work? Like two besties. It's about two besties who, I'll have to find something, man. Like besties does kind of evoke the sense of it's two girls, two female best friends, but yeah, I'll figure something out. Two besties sounds good though. Oh wait, actually, this was the first question. Dabo Digging. I gotta see the actual name behind these things. I just don't see it. Dabo, he says, how did you decide on the name Saintly? That was back in the Cubert school, when like the first version of Saintly way back when was not even demon involved. Like there was no demons involved in it. It was just about two female best friends who were trying to make it in Hollywood, and they go on a little adventure and then they get into some hijinks, but nothing spiritual or supernatural happened in that. And then I realized like stuff like Scott Pilgrim or stuff like Invincible, they all had like something special, something with pizzazz to it that gave it that little extra oomph, that gave it that little like high concept. So I was just like, all right, what if I involve demons in it and make it supernatural? And that's when I was just like, okay, so then I guess if it's about that, then I can call it Saint something, and that's when the word like saintly just kind of popped into my head, and I made it called Saintly. So that was it, like Saintly. I was just like, all right, cool. Saintly is the name of this comic. I'm gonna go with that. Let's see. VNet Fatty says, do you think comparing could turn people off? Never seen K-pop, but I'm instantly turned off even though I like your content. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's supposed to give you an idea of what people say, or it's supposed to give you an idea of what the idea or like the comic is about without turning you off to the idea. But if it is turning you off to the idea, I would have to see how common that is to other people who would want to possibly buy this thing. So if it's turning you off, what would be a more, let's say, what would be a more interesting comparison that you would understand, that's like K-pop Demon Hunters? That's what I would ask you in that case. Because while it could turn some people off, it will probably absolutely turn other people on. So but it's always catered to you, the audience, who would possibly buy it, rather than somebody who's just going to read it and not really buy it. You know what I mean? Like, it's meant to evoke an image in the mind of somebody who will buy it. And tons of people already quote unquote bought K-pop Demon Hunters, which is why I use that cultural reference point. Let's see. He says, when you write about giving feminine flair to it. About giving a feminine flair to it. I don't know if that's a question or not, but yeah, I mean, I guess I have to because it's two girls in the stuff. Uh, two Yas Queens. Oh fuck no, hell no, dude. Kova, hey man, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm just streaming right now. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep it going. Um, I think I'm gonna look at a couple more manga mogura like titles before I go into what's it called, the Young Magazine submissions, and because I saved them. Maybe in my bookmarks, but most likely in my likes. Anyways, wait, what was that about? It looked like some shenanigans going on there. Let me see. What was that? It looked like some ass slapping. Like, damn. Oh, it looks like that. Tatsuyuki Tanaka. He animated this because that's his style. Like, that's how he draws, dude. He draws weird, but just put a like on that. That's how you do a study. Incredible. Jesus Christ. People are blowing this fucking free run thing out of the water. Like, damn. This nigga drew the whole skeletal structure of the character and is putting that. Wow. That is insane, dude. They're building it up from the fucking ground up. Like, damn, from the muscles to the, oh man. The thing is about these things is like I cannot jump onto these trends because by the time I jump on it, it's already too late. It's already too late, and I myself am too bored. Like I drew this for myself in my sketchbook just not too long ago. And I nailed it, obviously, because it's not that. I mean, but I wouldn't say it's not that hard, but not that easy either. Let me see if I can show y'all. Here, I'll enlarge my screen. It said that doesn't look consensual. All right, let me do solo layout. Yeah, this is what I drew it right here. So this is like my version of the free run thing. And because I draw at odd angles so much, like I kind of already understood how to figure that angle out. I've drawn at this angle a lot in the past because of what's it called? Naruto. So yeah, I just know I just dashed that off pretty quick. But yeah, I mean the art world moves too fast for me to jump onto trends, so I just don't jump onto those things because by the time I get into it, it'll already be too late and nobody's even gonna watch my thing or watch my video. Like if I did it on Twitter right now, whatever I do would just not even get any interest or likes or whatever. It's so random that I just don't even bother with it because it's what's the word? It's not a winning game. Like it's just if you're not up there in terms of views or people who create stuff, then you just can't catch up. You can't keep up with them. And it's also, what's the word? So random that you never know what will take off. So yeah, this one, oh, let me turn off my solo screen. And yeah, Manga Mogura is good at, says office romance, cat life balance. That is, you know, you already know what it is just from the words. Binge eating girl comedy. You already know what it is from the image. The image plus these words help combine to make you understand, okay, this is what it is. Boxing youth drama, Boxster. So it's a boxing youth drama about boxing. So you understand. So let me go to my profile and let me hit like on this because that's interesting. Actually, let me go to bookmarks. I'll go to, I have bookmarks for manga. Okay. Master Panda, he says, yeah, speaking of trends, I remember trying to participate in Inktober back when it first started, back when it first popped off. I just stopped because I felt like I could have been spending time working on my own stuff. Yeah. Yep. I try to do Inktober every year. I try to post every day on Inktober for like just panels of Saintly, but posting on Instagram is just like you get 32 likes maybe on your post, and it just feels like a waste of time on there. So I stopped trying to post on Instagram and Twitter. I'm just focused on YouTube right now, where a place where I can actually like grow. So I'm just focused on one platform and trying to grow on that, and then leading it into my email list, and that's all I'm doing right now. So what's the manga company that does short pitches like that? It's not a company, it's just one guy. They run this manga news account. It's just one person, and they basically write good log lines for every series that comes out. So you instantly know what the comic is about. This says Dragon Quest X Cohabitation Rom-Com. Thou hast had a good night's sleep, I hope. Like, I instantly know what this is just by the way that they write the tags. Like, this is going to be about Dragon Quest characters in living together in a rom-com. So it's going to be a rom-com like genre. Like, it's not going to be heavy on battle or tragedy. It's a rom-com. So those are good ways to get people to understand. Let me turn this off. Yeah, you just summed up IG and Facebook in a nutshell. A waste of time describes them perfectly. Yeah, exactly, man. I just stopped trying on there, man, because if you're not the top, you're at the bottom, and even the top has a hard time getting money or getting paid for the work they're doing unless you have like money for ads and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I favorited this piece of art from the creator of Hajime no Ippo. This says, thanks for sharing. I followed to get a better idea of how I can promote my own book. Yeah, absolutely. That's it's a really good way to promote your stuff. So like with manga, what was I looking for? I was looking for the submissions for the young magazine contest that they held recently, and I'm gonna see. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so I voted for the Dark Elf comic, the Journey of the Dark Elf with Fading Powers. I didn't really read anything else, but I've been seeing this creator post online like actual art progress. Like they were I saw them posting time lapses of their art as they were drawing it, and so I was just like, this is actually really good, this is interesting, I wonder what this guy is creating. And then it turns out to be a submission to this manga art contest. I thought it would do higher, but yeah, it actually turned out really good. So it is kind of like Freerun meets Dungeon Meshi, like Delicious in Dungeon. It's a combination of both. And that is like a cheat code, dude, because both those came out at literally the same time, and they were just such massive hits that this nigga just combined two massive hits. And it was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do that in my comic, and then that's it. Like, boom, you have serialized comics. So these were all submissions to be serialized in Japan. And so yeah, these are the winners. And the first one is I mean, the first one is homosexual. So I don't know what that says about this comic. Is it actually legitimately the best comic out of all the ones that they could have chosen? Who knows? But it's number one, so maybe it's good. But I just don't read it because it's gay. So, but these other ones are like haunted stuff. So I like haunted, like they're what's the word? Horror stories. So I'm gonna check those out to see if there's like inspiration that I can use for Saintly, and see like what level of quality they're producing. And see, this is what I mean about Dark Elf. Like in that comic, there wasn't really much of a quote unquote like story. It was more like it was just the characters going around, well, not really going around anywhere, but it was just one character coming to invite the other character to teach at a magic school. But the elf fading powers didn't really have any magic, so she was just doing stuff by hand, like cooking and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's basically Dungeon Meshi mixed with Freerun, because she, at the start of the story, they say like how she used to be a legendary mage, one of the strongest elf mages in the world. And so yeah, it's basically like that. And the thing is, like, this creator, I think their name is Yamai Tabashi or something like that. They made a previous series. Like, they've been serialized before, so this could be their chance to have a series that blows up to the point where it can get an anime. And these types of things happen all the time. Like series that the series that they want to blow up doesn't blow up, and then it ends, and then they come back with an even stronger or even better series. And so this is the one shot, and they're probably going to make an even more improved chapter 1 for the actual serialization that sets up a world that can actually be continued in terms of the story. So they're gonna have to not redraw it, but they're gonna have to draw a whole new number 1 that's different from their one shot, but just different enough so that it can be more of a continuing series rather than just focused on one thing. So I don't know, maybe I want to like go to the website and look at some of these submissions, because I remember looking at some of them earlier just to see like, okay, well, what is good and what's not. Well, let's look at the first few pages of each and see what's up. Okay, Still You. What does the author's comment say? Huge thank you to for all the votes. It means the world to me, and the manga was able to touch the hearts in any small way. I appreciate the continuous readership and support. This isn't the thing is this isn't Shonen Jump, so pretty much anything can be regarded as number 1. But what is it? Like, this isn't Shonen Battle manga, so it can just be, maybe it actually is good. But I like, the thing about like BL comics is, like, personally I don't relate, because I'm not looking for that type of romance. I'm looking for like quote unquote like heterosexual romance, man. Because that's how I learn. In the past, that's how I've learned. Like, okay, this is what relationships can kind of be like, or this is how I enjoy seeing a relationship play out. Um, like especially in like seinen manga, that's where I see a lot of like the relationship type stuff or the romance type stuff that I personally like. And in one of my favorite manga ever, um, Nana. So that's the kind of stuff that I like reading about. But let's see. What do you think a kiss feels like? Huh? A kiss? What does it feel like? That's sudden. Blah 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 blah. Blah. And 3 years later, okay. So then they're thinking about that. Um, and he's dating a chick, and they're going to school, and they're eating stuff. And okay, well, yeah. I mean, that's probably number one. This is probably number one. Let's check out the next one. Thank you for always for your continuous support. Without this unique opportunity, it would have been truly challenging to greenlight this project. Please look forward to even more thrilling stories ahead. I deeply appreciate your continued support. Okay, so all of them are going to be kind of the same, I think, in terms of the author's comment. But this one looks like it could be really scary. 46-page horror manga. In fact, I want to read this like on my own at some point, just like to check it out and see what I can like learn from it, see what I can take from it for Saintly. So this one looks like it's like China themed, like there's we're in China or something, but it says Yokohama in a downpour. So it's just, it looks like China, but it's not. But it's from a Chinese creator. That's the thing. So I'm just looking at the pages as if I was an actual like manga editor, and they read stuff fast. Like they read stuff quickly just to see like how it is created. So like it's clear enough to read and understand. Like we get a view of the character's viewpoint right here, like her face expression and what she hates. So I'm just thinking like, okay, this is the first sign of something that might be scary happening right here. What the hell? What's with all this licking stuff going on here, Doug? But oh shit. Yeah, this is where the scary stuff is starting to happen. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I want to check more of this out later on, but I can't really go in depth into it right now. I'm just like looking at them right now. Okay, Night of Blasphemy. Let's see what this is gonna be like. Answer Me, Gerard by D. Ford. What the? Answer Me, Gerard by Ford. What do you hope to achieve by turning your back on God and disrupting the order of things? Okay, I will set everything free from the curse of God. Questioning what true righteousness is, an epic historical fantasy. Night of Blasphemy, and remaining good in the face of being branded a blasphemer. This is the tale of such a night. Okay. So, whoa, what the? Okay, that's cool. Like this is somebody coming out of nowhere to attack somebody, and it's like that's it makes you want to flip the page and see what happens next. But this guy blocked it. Okay, so that's what happens. It looked like he was about to attack him, but he blocked easily. Okay, so that was interesting. Like they jump in straight into something that's kind of interesting and story based. All right, cool. So that one I do want to read more. I want to read all these just to see like, okay, this is what Thank you very much for this amazing fourth place ranking. I want to express my deepest appreciation for all my supporters. Moving forward, I will dedicate myself to making sure my manga is delivered to fans globally. Daisuke Itabashi. Yep. And yeah, this was the only one that I read, and I thought it deserved first place because it was the only one that I read through. But I didn't read through it all the way the first time because I was just like, yeah, I don't have time. And this story isn't really like a story, to be honest. It's not necessarily like, well, it is a story. It is a story, but it doesn't get into some like, it's just a conversation for the most part. And then they eat and they're talking about stuff. But this one was interesting. I liked it, and I thought it was kind of like free run. But yeah, it just had really good art, and I know it would be more of a kind of a slice of life fantasy type thing. Fascination. This one I do want to read because this looks like a horror story as well. Scary horror story. Did she just have a baby? That's crazy. Yeah, she did. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, this is also well drawn. And it looks like it'll be an interesting horror story. So I'm gonna check this one out too. Yeah. So yeah, this is submissions for, they'll be serialized in Kodansha, so K manga. All right. Yeah, I've just been looking at this contest for a while. But yeah. And then on Twitter, I'll save comics in a manga folder for things that look like they might be interesting. Actually, let's see this Hajime no Ippo page play out, because that's cool. I mean, you almost can't believe they're doing all this stuff traditionally, especially in this day and age. But you can tell that the creator, he draws it, and then he'll have the assistants probably do like maybe the sound effects or the background, like the lines on the ground where it's hatched lines and stuff. He'll probably have the assistants do that, and then the what do you call it? The tones and stuff on the shorts. He'll have the assistants do that, and the tones on the boxing gloves. He'll probably have the assistants do that. So yeah, that's how it is in manga. Okay, let's see what else. So I'll look at first pages of manga. Like, this looks like something that would be interesting on the surface of it. What else? This is from Fire Force. Like, what is it truly about? Yeah, she has the most accurate hair from that character from Ron from Detective Conan. But yeah, making manga, making comics is basically about figuring out what's gonna sell and then creating that thing that will sell. So yeah. I guess I'll go back to drawing. Let me go back to painting and see how much further we can get into this, because I'm really not sure where else to go with this. It looks okay, but it's kind of like in that in between stage before it gets like really good, or before I can do something like really interesting with it. I'm not really referencing anything. That's the thing. I'm just thinking. I'm just using my own mind to color this. I'm not really looking at anything cool to reference. This is just like my first painting in years, so I'm just okay, yeah, let me try out something. Here's what I'll do. I'll take her skin color and then I'll move this slightly up and then move that slightly up. And that way you have a lighter shade. But where would I put that lighter shade? On her nails? Her nails are black. So yeah, the thing with like creating characters is that you have to everything that she's wearing, like her glasses or her earrings, and then her eyes, all of it is important to her character and why she is the way she is. Let me make sure my stream is not on friggin' like child mode again, where it's like what's the word? Where everybody can get in and comment and all that stuff. I think it should be fine. All right, I'm gonna check. Nope. I'm gonna hit. All right, I'm gonna go to history. Is it history? Playlist? Videos? My videos, yeah. Who commented? Keep me updated if they're alive. Yeah, I just did a video on friggin' this creator called Arai. A creator who made one of my favorite video games in the past. Or it's not a video game, it's just a flash game on that I used to play on my computer all the time. But dang, this is still uploading. All right. Let's see. Let's go to live. And then we'll hit. Everybody can see it. We'll go to details. Yeah, details. Make sure it's not restricted in any way. Okay, good. Nope. Altered content. No. All right. So we'll go back here and draw. I actually saw a oh, you know what? Yeah. Well, where is the light coming from? Yeah, it is coming from up there. So we'll have that. All right. And her eyes are meant to look sort of ghostly. Like they can see spirits and such. But actually, her eyes go a little bit more detailed. And it was raining earlier. Raining heavily out there. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Yeah. So basically I have to get reacclimated to coloring or painting with digitally. And it really helps to have like this iPad. I've been using it since the Cube at school. But having this iPad really, I got it on based on a recommendation from Nick Patera, my mentor, and it helps me like, because before all I had was my tablet and my laptop, and that would help me draw. Having this as an option where I can just draw directly onto the thing is like so important to me that I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna take that. And no, that didn't work. Nope. This one needs to be adjusted. So there we go. And I'll be on here maybe about 15 more minutes, and then I'm gonna head out and just chill, get ready for work tomorrow. And basically I'm just making little strides in getting out of debt and keeping up with my bills and stuff. It's just little by little digging my way out of hell. That's all I can really do. Just dig my way out. Because I was at work earlier today with a guy who was 62. Like, bro, we're both working entry level position in this place, and that guy got he fractured his elbow somehow at a previous job in another warehouse, and he was having a hard time keeping up with the work that we were doing, and I had to help him out a lot. And I was just like, man, dude, I really feel bad, because like, if he can't work, he hooked. The money he makes would have to go to like medical expenses to make sure he can continue working again. But if he can't continue working, then I don't know. Like, if he can't continue working. All right, let me add a shadow to this. There we go. He's cooked. Like, he's 62. This is the only, like, we're working off of the same app, the same job app. He has nothing. From what he said, he doesn't really have anything saved up. He's just waiting on getting what do they call it? Social Security by the time he's 70. He said, I'm gonna wait till I'm 70, and that's a smart thing to do. So I can collect more off of Social Security than if I were to retire at 62 or 65. He said he's of retirement age. And I thought, man, you never know what could happen in those 10 years. But he seemed content with life. Like, he seemed content enough. It's just that little things like that, like where you lose the ability to use an arm or you get injured. That's the kind of stuff that I was experiencing like back in 2023, where in 2023 I was just like, well, I'm cooked. I got this huge dental medical bill that I need to take care of, because my teeth had basically rotted out so bad that I was experiencing pain nonstop every day, every second. And I was just like, what is this pain? I've never felt anything like this in my life. It was a dull and sharp, boiling, twisting pain in my teeth, in my molars. And I was just like, what is this? This doesn't make any, I've never felt anything like this. it was my teeth had the cavities had dug into the root of the teeth, and it was just giving me pain because I'd broken them like a few weeks back, and I was just like, okay, it's broken, but it's not hurting. It's not in pain. Okay, that's good. That's fine. I should be able to hold off on this for a while and not have to see a doctor. And then all of a sudden, all at once, it just started giving me pain. Like I woke up in the middle of the night, like, ow, 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 I'm in pain. What is this? Ouch, ow, ow, ow. And I had to go get that taken care of. But even that took months to fix or to even like address because I didn't have any insurance. I didn't have a job at the time. Or no, I had a job, but it would take a while before the insurance would kick in to where I could benefit off of the insurance plan from my job. And so I had to go out of state to a friend's place in Arkansas to get some treatment for at least a couple of teeth, and that provided some relief. But it was still in such pain that I could barely focus on anything. I had to take ibuprofen religiously every single day, along with Tylenol, because it would hurt my head, it would hurt my mouth, and I just had no relief, no rest. The only thing I could really do in those years, well, not years, but in that time was like, I was running a podcast at the time. I was running a podcast. I was doing like friggin' push-ups every day just to take my mind off the pain and get stronger. Because I was just like, yeah, I may be cooked, but I'm not gonna get weak out of this. Like, I'm just gonna keep getting stronger. What the Master Panda? He says, I totally get the feeling of digging yourself out of hell. Sometimes I feel that way, except I feel like I don't even have a shovel. I'm digging with a teaspoon. That's what it feels like sometimes, man. But it's just like that meme. It's just like this meme right here. Yep. Where you're digging for fucking like diamonds, man. Like, keep digging no matter what kind of tool you have, because you never know how far away from the actual goal you're at. Because it's it could be like right there, and if you give up, then that's it. It's too late. Because maybe the guy who I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, who wanted to make a living at as a musician and to become like a big enough name to get paid off of his work. Maybe he was this close to doing that. Maybe he was just this close, and he was just like, no, I have children, and I should just give up on my dream and work at a warehouse, and that's it. Like, I guarantee you his dream isn't to work at a warehouse. It was just what he thought he needed to do to be practical. But he gave up right at the point where he was starting to win. But this guy is the one who continues no matter how bad it gets. This is me. This is who I am. Like, I'm always thinking like, man, today could be the day, or tomorrow could be the day, or today is the day. Yes, I am succeeding today. Like, because I just don't think that way. I just don't think in a way that it makes me weak or feel bad. Because it's not helpful. It doesn't really do anything for me to think in a way that is unhelpful, like, you know, in a way that is weak-minded. Because nobody is there for me in that way. Like, nobody is gonna help you out. Nobody's gonna like give you help unless you're already moving in the direction that you're destined to go into. Because I was already creating things and moving in the direction of making stuff, making comics, that's why people see and feel the feel that they can invest in me safely, because I work hard enough to demonstrate, like, yeah, I'm somebody that you can invest in. I'm somebody that you can trust. Uh, and you can bet money on that. Like, you can literally bet money on that. For me, I'm always thinking like I'm this close to the goal. I'm so close to the goal, I can taste it every single day, even though who knows, like I could actually just be miles and miles away from it, so far from it that I should not even be smiling right now. And yeah, that's all I can think to do is like, you know what? I could be a winner tomorrow, or I'm a winner right now. I would think that instead. I would be thinking like, yeah, I won today because I got up and I'm breathing. And I just think like that every single day, whether it's whether it could be a good day or not. Like, I just think, okay, this is another day I can try. Maybe there's something new I can try. There's another approach I can take, and that'll be the approach that'll actually like help me succeed. There shouldn't be knuckles on these right here. Like, maybe that'll be the approach that'll help me succeed this time. And I'll try this, or I'll try that. And I'm always trying the next thing that might take me to the next level, take me to the next thing. Because I think about it like this, like, and I'm gonna make a video about this pretty soon. I think, like, are all the good things in life, is wealth and money and happiness, is it all out of my reach just because I chose to make comics as a career? Like, everyone who went into, let's say, drop shipping or crypto, or people who made it big doing things like real estate or things that make sense to make money on, like coding or you know, tech, are they in the right field and I'm in the wrong field because I chose comics, or because comics chose me to create them? Like, is it only them that have the ability to make money and get to travel and do all these cool things just because they chose the right field to make money in? And I chose comics, a field that is so notoriously difficult to make a living in, that that it's nigh impossible even in this day and age. Did I make the wrong decision? And I don't even think about it like, oh, did I make the wrong decision? I think about it like, I'm in an industry where it's so difficult just to survive, and I'm in the second possible worst circumstances to try to make a living at it. That it's like, am I just being delusional? And yeah, I am. 100% I'm being delusional. I only have survivor's bias. I only look at the people who succeeded and I'm like, oh yeah, that could definitely be me one day. I don't look at anyone else. Or I'll study other people who failed or didn't make it, and I'm like, yeah, I understand why they failed. I'm just not going to do that then. I'm going to do the thing that actually works. And that's how I think every single day. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll just do the thing that actually works, and I'll avoid the things that don't. And that's how I try to succeed at doing what I'm doing. Because the other bad position to be in is to have kids and have a wife and have a whole thing like that you need to support, that you can't just you can't just go off and do comics on your own for fun. Like, I'm still thinking about going to Japan and just being an assistant over there for a while, just to get some tips, like just to learn things. And I have that ability because I don't have a wife and kids. Like I can just go do that for fun, go hang out, and then come back, have a whole new suite of skills to use in my comics, and eventually get married. But only once I've actually like succeeded, and that's basically the whole goal of my life. Like I want to prove that just because comics chose you to make them doesn't mean you have to live in poverty or be not be wealthy or not have the life that you want, the life of your dreams. I want to prove with my own life that it is possible to make money in comics, have a good life, and enjoy it. Like it's totally 100% possible. You just have to be willing to put in the work, and that's what I do every single day. I'm gonna just keep doing it. Dale said a white kids has a whole different upside though. Yeah, I bet it does. Cause you're you have people that can carry you on. Like they can carry your essence forward into the future. Um so it has a different set of benefits, even though it might be difficult to create a career with a family. It's not impossible. It's just a little bit. It's just gonna take a little bit more time, but yeah, it's definitely not impossible. But yeah, um, I'm probably not even close to being done with this with this piece, and the fingers are kind of messed up. But I smoothed a few things out. I've done the eyes a little bit better, and that's kind of interesting to look at. So yeah, I'll probably continue this maybe in the next stream on Thursday. But for now, I'm just gonna table it, come back to it, and see how much better it'll get in the next. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. And thank you guys for coming out to the stream. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. Have a good night, y'all.